Yesterday, we are done with the MCQ, nitrogenous phase and how many water molecules are released. Everybody clear water molecules? Fine. Now, see, another important point. Erwin-Chargaff rule. Erwin-Chargaff rule, it is only applicable for pDNA. Yes, the most acceptable model of the DNA, double helical structure, that is given by Watson and Crick, and it is nothing but the pDNA. So today I can tell you that the types of the DNA and how many nitrogenous base pairs and what is the weight of the DNA. Okay, so please remember, Erwin-Chargaff rule, it is only applicable for double-stranded of DNA, double-stranded DNA, and that is of pDNA only. Right? If A plus B is more than C plus G, it is known as AT type of DNA. AT type of DNA is mostly seen in the eukaryotic cells. So in eukaryotic cells, A plus T amount is more compared to the C plus G. Whereas opposite to it, C plus G ratio is greater than the A plus T. It is known as CG type of the DNA. Melting point of the DNA, it depends on the GC content or CG content. GC content is more, melting point is more. Fine? If melting temperature, it is joined by 3M. So here what this indicate? Is it right? Melting temperature is more in prokaryotic DNA because the condition is this here. In prokaryotic DNA, Cg content is more, so melting temperature is more there. Fine. So next point. DNA absorbs the UV rays which consists 2600 angstrom wavelength. Okay, and due to UV rays absorption, the DNA is mostly mutated. Yes, our eukaryotic cells, we are eukaryotic one. So in our DNA, 80 content is more. So melting point is low. So at this much high wavelength of the UV rays, DNA is easily mutated. So if we are coming in contact with the UV rays, fine, we get mutation in the DNA. And that's why you know that we are not done with the 16th chapter. So in 16th chapter, ozone depletion is there. You know that breakdown of the ozone layer. Ozone layer, it is present in the stratosphere, just from the Earth's surface 50 kilometer above the stratosphere. And one more important point, the thickness of the ozone layer, it is measured in Dobson unit, DU. But due to the freon gas it is used in AC as well as refrigerator, freon gas. And one freon molecule liberates so many chloride molecules, and one chloride molecules degrade 1 lakh ozone molecules. In Arctic zone, mostly first ozone depletion can be seen commonly there, and due to the ozone depletion, the UV rays are directly coming in contact with the Earth's surface, and that UV rays are absorbed by our skin, so mutation occurs. And along with the direct absorption of the UV rays, which two deformities occur inside our body? Apart from the mutation, skin cancer, good, that is melanoma, and along with that, cataract, મોતિયો. UV rays direct Earth surface ના કોન્ટેક્ટમાં આવે છે, બરોબર, એટલે આપણને કેટલેક બહુ ઝડપથી થશે. And UV rays are absorbed by the skin, so more chances of the skin cancer. That is melanoma. And we have less melting point because we consist 80 ratio more. That's why at high temperature DNA is mutated. Okay. Another point, in PCR, three phases are there. Can you tell me about it? First, denaturation, then annealing, and then extension. Okay, denaturation, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by denaturation in PCR? The two DNA strands are separated together, but by application of the temperature, yes, 90 to 95 degrees Celsius. So here 80 to 95 degrees Celsius. 80 to 95 degrees Celsius temperature. It is denaturation temperature for this. So at this much high temperature, the weak hydrogen bonds between the two strands of the DNA can be broken down, and then two DNA strands are separated. And you know that in that, see, PCR is not that much different from the DNA replication, but the main function of the PCR is that the small DNA fragment can be multiplied and we obtain the multiple copies of it. But here PCR can be done for diagnosis of the STDs as well as the desired characteristic containing DNA also, of its copies we obtain. So here after denaturation, annealing can be performed, and annealing can be done at the temperature 50 to 65 degrees Celsius or 60 to 65 degrees Celsius temperature. So after annealing, Taq polymerase, that is Taq DNA polymerase, which is obtained from the Kermes aquatics bacteria. Ordinary DNA polymerase cannot be used there. Why? Because it is thermostable DNA polymerase. Taq polymerase is known as thermostable DNA polymerase. At high temperature, DNA polymerase is maintained in its state. So Taq polymerase is used there. So denaturation point is there. Fine. So at 80 to 95 degrees Celsius temperature, denaturation occurs. Weak hydrogen bonds are broken down and two DNA strands are separated out. two strands of DNA are helically coiled like a revolving ladder. Both the strands are antiparallel to each other. One strand is in the 5' to 3' direction. So another strand is in the 3' to 5'. The backbone of this ladder is made up of the pentose sugar and phosphoric acid or phosphate group. So the main part of the DNA is formed of this. But the two parts of the backbone attached together, we can say that the steps of the ladder. Each step consists one base pair. And you know that this one base pair, so adenine and thymine is attached together by 2 weak hydrogen bonds, and cytosine and guanine attached together by 3 weak hydrogen bonds. So it forms the steps of the ladder. You know that after formation of the double-stranded DNA, the DNA is wrapped around the histone protein. Later on we will discuss that packaging of the DNA helix. And packaging of the DNA helix is very important. The most preferably asked question in the exam from this chapter, and this is very easy to understand. Fine, but much more important information is there. Bond between the DNA and histone is salt linkage, that is controlled by Mg plus 2. And DNA is combined with the histone protein as well as you know, and to maintain the three-dimensional structure. Okay, of the histone protein as well as DNA molecule can be carried out by the non-histone proteins. So, in the chromosome, non-histone chromosomal complex is there. NHC, if you remember that, non-histone chromosomal protein. And in non-histone chromosomal protein, these are two types, euchromatin and heterochromatin. So euchromatin is able to transcript successfully, heterochromatin cannot. Okay, so here DNA is attached with the histone protein by the salt linkage, that is Mg plus 2. So this is different types of 5 types of DNA. Right-handed DNA are 4 types: A DNA, B DNA, C DNA, and Z DNA. D DNA. A DNA in that length of helix 28 angstrom, number of base pair 11, distance between the two successive nitrogen base pair 2.56 angstrom, and the diameter is 23 angstrom. B DNA, we will learn with this. C DNA, length of the helix 31 angstrom, distance between the two nitrogenous base pair 3.32 angstrom, and according to this length, when you measure it, okay, so number of base pairs are 9.33 pairs, and the diameter is 19 angstrom. D DNA, length of helix 24.24 angstrom, number of base pair are 8, distance between the two base pair 3.03 angstrom, and diameter is 19 angstrom. So these all are right-handed DNA, whereas left-handed DNA is only one, that is Z DNA. So table is continued there, heading is same, fine. So Z DNA in that helix length is 45.6 angstrom, number of base pairs are 6, okay. Thirty 3.75 angstrom, distance between the two base pair, and diameter is 18.4 angstrom. And what do you mean by palindromic strand? Palindromic chain. Both the strands are same in opposite direction, the chords are same. Just for example, Malayalam. Malayalam. And in our textbook, in chapter number 11, one palindromic strand is given there, GAATTC. The 6 nitrogenous base pair palindromic strand is given there. And this GAATTC is of which restriction endonuclease enzyme? EcoR1. And first restriction endonuclease enzyme was invented is IND2. Might be in the ZDNA base pair, mistake is there. 12 base pair. 12. Yes, 12. Now, packaging of DNA helix, quick revision. Packaging of DNA helix. You know that the distance between the two successive nitrogen base pair is 0.34 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Another way we say that 3.4 angstrom. In diploid cell, we have how many base pairs? 6.6 into 10 raised to 9 base pair. So 6.6 into 10 raised to 9 multiplied with 0.34 into 10 raised to minus 9. And 10 raised to 9 and 10 raised to minus 9 will become, and multiply 6.6 into 0.34. So you will get the answer 2.244 meter length. You calculate it. Okay? Yes, actually 2.2 meter long the DNA is there. It is given there in the textbook. But perfect length is 2.244 meter length of the DNA. The length of the DNA of E. coli bacteria 1.36 millimeter. 1.36 mm length is there of the E. coli bacteria. So how many base pairs are located there? 4.6 into 10 raised to 6. Ideally we obtain the 4 into 10 raised to 6 base pair. Fine. In prokaryotic cells, the genetic material, it is present in the form of nuclein. But in eukaryotic cells, actually, how many histone proteins are there? Histone protein molecules are actually 5. Confused. Let me clear this. H1, H1A, H2B, H3 and H4. H2A, sorry. H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. And as you know it very well, that H2A two molecules, H2B 2 molecules, H3 2 molecules, and H4 2 molecules are joined together and form histone octamer. Okay. Now this histone octamer joined with was 200 base pair consisting DNA. Okay, histone octamer, it is now wrapped around. Histone octamer from that 200 base pair consisting DNA is wrapped around and form what? Yes, nucleosome. So many nucleosomes are joined together and form the chromatin. Chromatin is look like beads on string. and each bit it consists one nucleosome. Now, two successive nucleosomes are joined together by H1 histone protein. See, the diagram is given there of that nucleosome. And nucleosome on that side where is large H1 protein is given there. Okay, so two nucleosome are interconnected by H1 protein. Okay, that's why here we have total 5 histone proteins. H1 is the interconnection. Fine. So now this nucleosome forms the chromatin. Chromatin forms the chromatin fibers. Chromatin fibers forms the chromosome. Okay, and all these chromosomes are joined by centromere, and you know that sister chromatine, right? And over few centromeres, the kinetophore is present, which gives the attachment to the sphincter fibers. And along with that, here non-histone chromosomal complex in that euchromatin and heterochromatin is given. So most commonly 4-mark question. Okay, packaging of the DNA helix. So here I can stop now. Remaining thing we will discuss in the next lecture.